4 years, countless failed attempts, more money spent on courses than I care to admit, and one moment where I almost gave up for good. If you've ever felt like you've missed your chance to build something of your own, like everyone online is younger, more confident, or just somehow has it all figured out already, then this video is for you. Before we dive in, I made something for you. It's called the Done Starting Over Guide. It's free, it's a mindset shift and a simple action plan for women who keep starting and stopping their businesses and are ready to finally break that cycle for good. The link is in the description. It's the very first one you'll see. So go grab it and come back whenever you're ready. I'm Jenny, founder of The Bold Biz, and this channel is for women over 40 who want to build an online side business without the hustle, the burnout, or the pressure to have everything figured out. If that sounds like you, please subscribe. I post new videos every Thursday, and I would genuinely love to have you here. Now let me tell you a story. About 4 years of trying, failing, pivoting, quitting, restarting, and finally landing somewhere that actually feels like home. I'm sharing this not because it's a particularly glamorous story, it really isn't, but because I think it might be exactly the story you need to hear today. It all started almost 4 years ago on a dark Swedish winter night. I was sitting on my couch watching a free Bob Proctor YouTube series about manifesting your dream life, and something inside me just lit up. I remember thinking, wait a second, maybe I'm meant for more than just a 9-to-5 forever. That feeling was so clear and so real. And from that night on, I became completely obsessed with the idea of building something of my own. So I did what any enthusiastic, slightly overconfident person would do. I immediately started a business. I called it Entrepreneurial Gals. It sounded professional, I thought. It looked almost beautiful because I'm a graphic designer and I was not going to let my first business look anything less than perfect. I designed the logo, built the website, chose the colors, the fonts. Everything was exactly right. And then a designer friend of mine looked at it and said, Jenny, it's really pretty, but what does your business actually do? Cue the longest silence of my life. Because honestly, I had no idea. I wanted to help women. I just hadn't figured out how yet. I had no plan, no offer, no experience, just a very nice logo and an enormous amount of enthusiasm. A few months later, that enthusiasm quietly fizzled out, and I shut down the website feeling lost and a little embarrassed. But I didn't quit. I just pivoted. I bought a very expensive digital products course taught by 2 very tanned men in Dubai who seemed to have everything figured out. I went through every single lesson and then did absolutely nothing with it. No launch, no sales, just an emptier bank account and another deflating ending. Though I will say, I did learn the basics of digital marketing, which would eventually matter, actually. Then came the master resale rights craze. Maybe you've heard of it? It looked like literally everyone online was making thousands of dollars a month. So naturally, I bought one myself to resell. More money gone, still no sales. At this point, my confidence had taken some hits, but my stubbornness, almost thriving. So I tried print on demand. I designed mugs and jewelry, opened an Etsy shop, launched a Pinterest account, and waited for the sales to start rolling in. Not a single sale. I'm sure you're not surprised. Not even one pity purchase from a friend. Not a one. So, close the shop again. Now here is what I want you to notice about this part of my story, because I think it matters. I kept trying things that looked like they should work, and they kept not working. And every single time, I had 2 choices. I could decide that this meant that I wasn't cut out for this, or I could decide I just hadn't found my thing yet. I always choose the second one. Not because it was especially brave or especially wise, just because that fire that Bob Proctor lit inside me refused to go out. I just kept thinking, there has to be something out there for me. So by fall, I hit pause on everything. I was exhausted. Building a presence online, creating content, posting, engaging, jumping around from idea to idea, all of it manually because this was before AI came along. It was taking everything I had. And I was working full time at the time. And I remember I was doing all of this alongside a full-time job. So I stepped back and I channeled all that creative energy into something I'd been dreaming about since I was about 20 years old, a book. The story was deeply personal about two family members, my mom and my aunt, and their extraordinary journey through glamour and celebrity life in the late 60s. For 6 months, I wrote, researched, interviewed, pieced their story together. And in the spring of 2023, the book was published in both Swedish and English. Hitting publish felt incredible. The book even led to an interview on Swedish morning television with my mom and my aunt, which was surreal and slightly terrifying and completely unforgettable. The book did not become the bestseller I'd hoped for. I think it sold maybe just enough to cover my celebratory champagne. But what it did do was something more important. It reconnected me to a story about two women who built something from nothing, who didn't wait for permission, who didn't overthink. They just went for it. And that spirit stuck with me. Around the same time, I enrolled in the Mindvalley Life Coaching Certification course. It was a 4-month program while still working full-time and finishing the book. Yes, that was a lot. Yes, I was a little unhinged at the time. Yes, the house was a complete mess. But honestly, having all of that purpose and activity carried me through some pretty dark Swedish winters. By March 2024, I officially launched The Bold Biz. It started as a small Shopify experiment selling ebooks and digital products. And at the time, something else big was happening, the rise of AI. And like most people, I had very mixed feelings, and I still do. On the one hand, very exciting. On the other hand, slightly terrifying. Would AI steal my job as a designer? Maybe not tomorrow, but possibly next year. So instead of spending too long being afraid of it, I decided to embrace it. And AI quickly became my secret weapon. It saved me hours of work. It helped me brainstorm, write, polish, organize, and build. Suddenly, I could do in a day what had previously taken me at least a week. And that changed everything for someone building a business in the margins of a very full life. But then, because this is my journey, and my journey apparently needs drama and messiness, by the end of 2024, the sales were almost non-existent again. Or still, I should say. The momentum dipped, the crickets came back, and I found myself wondering yet again, what comes next? So I took another break. Are you sensing a theme here? I stepped back, figured out what wasn't working, and decided to rebuild with real intention. No more trying random things. This time around, I would have a plan. So in January 2025, I challenged myself to grow my Instagram page consistently, strategically, and without burning out. Within 4 months, I went from 47 followers to over 10,000. Now I know followers aren't the whole story, and honestly, I've since learned that Instagram wasn't really converting those followers into actual leads. But in that moment, it gave me something I desperately needed. Proof that I could build something, that when I showed up consistently and talked about things that actually mattered to my audience, people listened. And that felt huge to me. Then one day, I got a sale notification for my $9 Bold Biz bundle. I jumped up and down and I nearly screamed. I nearly knocked over my laptop celebrating. $9! And I was losing my mind over it because that $9 wasn't about the money. It was 4 years of trying and failing and trying again. And someone finally said yes. That is what that $9 meant to me. And I want every woman watching this video to feel that moment, that, oh my God, I actually did it feeling. It exists. And you get there by staying in the game when everything in you wants to quit. Since then, the Bold Biz has evolved a lot. It's gone from a Stan store to a Shopify store to a System.io. And through all of those iterations, it has slowly become something that finally feels aligned. I launched the Bold Biz Collective, our community for second chapter women, in August of 2025. I launched this channel. I built out digital products, lead magnets, and a framework I genuinely believe in called the 4-Filter Framework, which helps women pressure test their business idea against their real life, their real skills, their real energy, and their real potential to build momentum. And somewhere along the way, I made one shift that changed everything. I took money out of the equation. For years, I'd been operating from pressure. I have to make this work. I have to prove this can succeed. And that desperate chasing energy was burning me out every single time. The moment I decided to build this because I love it, because it fulfills me, because helping women take this step genuinely lights me up, everything got easier. The ideas got better, the content got more honest, and the connections I made got more real. I'm still building. I still have a full-time job. I still live on a small island in the Swedish archipelago and do most of this work in the margins of my day. And I've never been more certain that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. So here is what I want to leave you with today. Starting a successful side business can take years. It took me 4 to get to where I am right now. And there were so many moments where I could have decided that this just wasn't for me. But every failed attempt taught me something. Every pivot got me closer. Every embarrassing flop was just data. You're not behind, you're not too old, you are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be to learn the thing that will take you to the next place. The only thing that separates the women who build something from the women who stay stuck in this is this. The ones who build it keep going when it gets hard. That's it. That is the whole secret. So keep going. And if you are at the stage where you keep starting and stopping and you genuinely want to break that cycle, grab my free Done Starting Over guide. It walks you through exactly why the restart cycle happens and what to do differently. The link is in the description. It's the very first one, so just go grab it. If this video resonated with you, please hit the like button. It genuinely helps more women find this channel, and subscribe for a new video every Thursday. I'll see you next week, and in the meantime, stay bold, ladies.